Bill Zito has done it again. He isn't finished just yet signing some of the free agents that the Florida Panthers need to lock up. But the question is, now that they've signed yet another player, what are they going to do to free up the cap room that they have now gone over? I will talk about who they just signed, how much it was for, how long it's for, and what can they possibly do moving forward so that way they can probably keep guys on the roster and not have to make any trades to free up the cap room, or who is going to have to be sacrificed to get under the cap limit. Guys, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Panthers Digest. I'm your host, Greg Andrews. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, guys. You need to stay up to date with anything and everything that has to do with your back-to-back Stanley Cup champion, Florida Panthers. Again, I love saying that. It just sounds so great when you say it. Anyways, guys, the big news is that Mackie Samoskevich has signed a one-year deal for $775,000. A lot of you were saying, what is going on with Mackie Samoskevich? Is he going to be able to stay on this team? Are they going to let him go? Are they going to even let him test the waters and receive offers from other teams? He was a restricted free agent. Thank goodness the Panthers own the rights to him, and they've locked him in. And Bill Zito made this statement about Mackie Samoskevich and the signing. He's a talented young forward who demonstrated skill and maturity well above his age in his first full NHL season. He showcased his ability to slot into any hole in our lineup and find success this postseason, which is a testament to both his play and character. We look forward to seeing him compete in our organization for years to come. So one of the things I want everybody to realize, yes, it is only a one-year deal. I think they told him what they were expecting. I think Bill Zito really sat down and said, kid, listen, you're 22 years old. You're going to develop in our system. You're going to be playing next year with this squad. You're not going to go down to the AHL. We want you to be a part of this squad. Even if you're a fourth liner, he is going to get that experience. Again, he's only 22 years old. Great numbers. Those numbers that you're looking at in 72 games this year, 15 goals, 16 assists, 31 points, 129 shots. I mean, really good numbers. They're solid for a rookie because his 15 goals were 7th most by a rookie in Panthers history and 4th most by a U.S.-born rookie. The 31 points in total, well, that tied Jonathan Huberdeau in the 2012-2013 season for 8th most points by a rookie in the franchise. And by the way, one of the other things that stands out here is in those 15 goals, 5 of them were game winners, and that ties him with Carter Verhaeghe for the most on the team this year. So he has had quite the season for a rookie, and he's had the experience in the past. I know the season before, I think he only played about 5 games or so, but in the AHL, he did have some very, very good years. In the 2023-2024 season, that was his first full pro season with the Charlotte Checkers. He had 22 goals, 54 points in total. So he's had a very good couple of years, and he's really helped the Panthers last year. Again, the experience is really what he needs. I think his growth and development by being actually on the active roster and playing hopefully a full 82 games this upcoming season will be huge for him. I mean, you could already see he's NHL ready. You know, the one big thing that the Panthers do not have a lot of, yes, I know they just went to the draft. They drafted 6 guys. I get it. But the talent that is really ready as of right now, that are young guys like Mackie Samoskevich. Yes, I know they traded away. I forget his name, but I'm sorry, I forget his name, but though I reported on it before, but this signing was very, very big for the Florida Panthers because he's proven himself that he can play in the big leagues in the NHL. He can compete. He can score. He's scrappy. He's really, really, really speedy. He's a great skater. He's got very good hand-eye coordination. He's got a good forecheck, and he can also really lead the drive when they're trying to go from their defensive zone to their offensive zone. He can actually take the puck and skate it all the way down the ice when needed. So I really like the signing. Everybody can breathe a sigh of relief. I know a lot of you are like, oh, we can't lose Mackie. We can't let him walk. You can't just let him go and get an offer sheet from somewhere else that we cannot match. Bill Zito knows what he's doing, guys. Again, trust in Bill Zito. I did the video the other day on him in terms of how smart he is, how he has created this culture down here that people want to be a part of. Sorry, players want to be a part of because they know it's a winning culture. They know that the team chemistry is there. This is about a team. The facilities that they play in are great. The ownership is great. The GM is great. The coach is great. I mean, everything about being down in South Florida is attractive to these players. I'm not going to go into the state tax stuff because wah, wah, wah. Yeah, all you guys cry about it. Well, guess what? Talk to your state, people that represent the government in your states and say, hey, we don't want state taxes. But guess what? I'm not going to go there. So good signing. But the big question is now, how do the Panthers get under the cap? They are $3,725,000 over the cap as of this very minute. This is the problem that we're looking at right now. So these were Samoskevich's numbers before we get into that. I pretty much told you. And then his postseason numbers. 4 games, only 1 assist. The experience is what we needed. Those 4 games he was taken out after that. And then we already know what happened with Nico Sturm got taken out of there. So, but this is the biggest thing. Where do the Panthers look to free up some cap space? I've told you guys already about LTIR for Matthew Tkachuk. We don't know what is happening. You can search and search and search on the internet, try to find out something. I've even tried to contact some insiders that might have some information with the Florida Panthers. I'm not getting any feedback whatsoever because I think this is a decision that they're really going to take their time with. They still have time to actually wait, meet with doctors, find the right orthopedist that's going to give you the right kind of surgery if need be, or the right regimen for physical therapy. Whatever it is, they're going to take their time because surgery is risky in any way, shape, and form. Surgery is surgery, guys. I've told you this before. I've had so many of them, and it's very risky. You've got to seek out multiple opinions and find the right one with the best doctor that you know will get you ready in time for whatever part of the season you're hoping to get back for. And I've already told you, it's not just that torn adductor. It's also the sports hernia, which is not the same thing as part of your abdominal, the muscles in your abdominal wall. They tear, and then you have to go in there and repair that. That's not what happened. This has to do with the muscles attaching to the pubic bone, and that's why the adductor failed and ultimately completely ruptured and tore away from the bone. So the question is, does he go on LTIR? I think Bill Zito is not afraid to go over the cap as much as he's gone over right now, because if you look at the full roster, guys, and you go on there, you take a look at the dollars and cents, you see who's on the active roster as of this minute, it's full. It's full. So I think they're going to really wait and see what Matthew Tkachuk is going to decide to do. But if they say, all right, he's not going to have off-season surgery, which I have a feeling that he's going to, because with an injury that severe, I know he played on it. I mean, I wouldn't say one leg because it didn't look like it bothered him that badly with the numbers that he put up. I think that 8 and 15, he still had a very good postseason. It was a little sketchy in the beginning. Yeah, I mean, he had a couple good games and then was assisting a lot, but you didn't really see that same player that we've seen before being as physical as he was. But I do think he does end up having off-season surgery. I think they're waiting. I think they're trying to see, all right, well, which one comes first? You know, and which kind of surgery are you going to have to do? Which one's less invasive? How long is the recovery period? What's the physical therapy going to be like? With scar tissue buildup, all of these different things is going to limit his mobility. There are so many questions that we do not have any answers for because we are not medical doctors. I am not one. Anybody else who's going to actually deliver the news about what is going to happen, they're going to say, we're going to lean over to the doctors to give the opinion. Right now, I think he's going to have surgery. I think they're waiting on that decision to be made. That's why Zito hasn't done anything except keep signing guys, keep this team intact. That was his focus. And when Matthew Tkachuk makes his decision, so be it. But what if they don't go that route? What if they have to trade people by the deadline? I'm not sure what that date is in terms of having to get under the caps, that cap space. I don't know exactly what the date is. I should have researched it. My apologies for those of you that do know. Awesome. But who is going to have to be sacrificed? Who are they going to have to get rid of to get under the cap space? I've told you. Unfortunately, the whispers are Evan Rodriguez with his $3 million. He's 31 years old. There's other whispers as well as Jesper Bovequist. I don't like it. I've heard it. I've heard some rumblings because he's got that $1.5 million. So you're going to get yourself around, what was it, 3.7. So you're roughly about $7.5 million under the cap, somewhere between $7.5 million under the cap if you get rid of those two guys. Or maybe you go Balinskis. But again, these guys are young. That's, to me, it doesn't make sense to get rid of guys that are younger. And you can't do AJ Greer, Thomas Nosek, or Jonah Gadjevich. Gadjevich is great. I'd rather keep him than pretty much keep Bovequist, in my opinion, because I think he's a little bit more of a physical player. You got him on a better deal at 775. Bovequist still has $1.5 million for each year of the next 2 years. So you're freeing up $4.5 million each year for the next 2 years. And the cap goes up next year. So you're freeing up even more room to sign more guys the following season. But again, I just don't like that he's young. Bovequist is young. Gadjevich is young. And then you look on the defensive side, like, are you really going to try to get rid of some of these young dudes? I mean, Dmitry Kulikov is 34. He's up there getting $1.1 million, but he's a critical piece to our defense. You've got Gustav, Forsling, and Aaron Ekblad on one line. You've got Jones and Mikkola on the other one. Then Kulikov and Balinskis, and essentially Jeff Petrie, excuse me. But I mean, do you sacrifice Dmitry Kulikov in essence because you do have Petrie there, who's only getting paid $775? It's a really, really tough decision to make. That's the reason why I'm just bringing it up and throwing it out there. How do you make the cap space? Who is going to have to be sacrificed? I don't think that Bill Zito is willing to give away anybody. I think he's going to try to hold on to every piece that he has, and he's going to wait until the last minute. He's got a plan, and I think he's probably already got something lined up if Matthew Tkachuk is not going on LTIR, and they find some way that he doesn't need to be there. But I do think he's not willing to sacrifice any of these players right now. He's more taking the risk of, hey, you know what? I'd rather Matthew Tkachuk have the surgery, go on LTIR. We free up that $9.5 million, and there we go. We're underneath the cap by just under $6 million. And we could sign a pretty decent player or players, hopefully, to take Tkachuk's spot on the active roster until he comes back from LTIR. But anyways, guys, so that is the big news of the day. Samoskevich has signed a one-year deal, $775,000 with the Florida Panthers. So he will remain a Panther for at least another year. Hopefully it will be longer than that. But anyways, guys, thank you for tuning into this episode of Panthers Digest. Catch me on the next one. I have a feeling there might be more breaking news happening in the next couple of days. Who knows, maybe even less than that. It's concerning getting under the cap space. We'll see. We will see. But again, don't forget to subscribe. I'm your host, Greg Andrews. And when the next piece of breaking news comes out, I will deliver it. I'll also have some other stories that will be coming out surrounding the Florida Panthers. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for your support. And again, don't forget to subscribe. Go Panthers.